Well, howdy, howdy, howdy. Finally, senior citizen here, greetings, boys, girls, and all of our non-binary friends, and welcome to this, a brand new day. Remember, no matter who you are valid. Thumbs up for that. And we're back to another day of being a casualty tourist in Liberty City, here in Grand Theft Auto 4. Because while I need something to keep my brain halfway occupied as I do things, discovering things about myself as I learn about my ADHD and all that. But yesterday, I had finally gotten the game Psalm, whichever Psalms it is, and I played it a fair amount, got through some rooms and all that. And then I stopped playing after I finished recording. And I was unsure if it was the kind of game that would save your position and where it is and what had been done. Or if it was going to be one of those that, well, now you have to start over from scratch. And it's a start over from scratch kind of game. So you need to beat it in one sitting, or you start over from the very beginning when you come back to it. I am willing to do that, just not right yet. It's going to be a while. The irritation of finding out it's that kind of game is going to keep me away from playing it for a couple. But I will come back to it. I am interested. I'd like to see what's going on with everything. I mean, I have no ideas why the guy is all cut up like they've been tortured. So maybe we'll find some of this out, maybe not. Maybe it's just a kind of, oh look, scary things happen kind of game. Hard to say. But past that, I mean, yesterday I was shocked and amazed that it was Sunday when it felt like Monday. And part of that is, again, the ADHD, because I have gone through so much of my life where the morning feels like yesterday, and then from noon onward, it feels like today. So by the time I get to the evening, anything I had done before noon, that happened yesterday. So on Saturday, half the day became yesterday when I got to Saturday afternoon. So Saturday afternoon was Sunday because I'd already lived through a full day Saturday morning. And then shock when Sunday was actually Monday. And then today's a holiday. So everything is all smushed up inside of my brain. Just look at all this terror and violence going on. It's a beautiful thing. Past that, I haven't had a chance to do much. I have been relaxing and taking care of myself as best I can. I went out for walkies last night. And for a while, it has been a shorter walkies because it's been just raining horrifically and cold. And now it's just cold. It stopped raining, thank goodness. So I've started easing myself back into the full, huge walkies. And I've been going on half-size walkies. And soon I'm going to be going, like, tonight or tomorrow into the fuller sized walkies. Make it last more and more miles instead of I've only been making it like 2 miles when it's really wet and cold. But now I've got a different issue. Oh, in fact, it's kind of visible here. My finger has an issue where it has been, if I use my hand up like this, the tip of this finger goes numb and it goes kind of yellow from bad circulation in there. except I don't have bad circulation. This only happened really recently I have a sore spot right here on that part of the finger, and it is swollen, and it has been red, and ever since that happened is when this started to go numb. And when I go outside and stretch my hand out completely like this, that entire finger will turn yellow because of restricted blood flow. Luckily, I have an appointment with my doctor this Thursday, because this is not a good thing. Now, I don't have a blood clot because you can see I still have blood flow, and it still works, and it doesn't hurt. But something has gone on inside of there, and I'm not entirely thrilled by that fact. Joy. Ow. When I said I wanted to be a casualty tourist, that was to see other people being turned into casualties, not myself. Because after all, when I cut my finger, that's a tragedy. But when you fall into an open sewer and die, well, that's comedy. It's all a matter of perspective. So on the whole creative front thing, yesterday I talked about the character of Henrik. He's... Oh, that wasn't even English. And how he is married to this one woman named Issa Ibden. Henrik took on her last name when they got married. Even though they don't have marriage as we know it on the Razor's Edge, it's its own culture as is on the inside. But if you're going to talk about things in ways that people can easily understand, you speak through the metaphor of things that people know. No, there's no marriage, but there is, partner coupling. You get a partner and you stick with a partner. Unless, just like in our world, you have arrangements. But even though the customs will be different and the names will be different, they're still people. And they will still be doing some variation of things that people have always done, just with different names and such. Well, I'm almost out of health. How about that? Oh! I'm all out of health. How about that? But back with Henrik. One of the things about him is just like cryptids. Well, it's not just necessarily about him. Just like cryptids in my cryptid setting, where if a cryptid looks at another cryptid, they know they're looking at a cryptid. And when they look at a human being, they know they're looking at a human being. It's not like they're shining in neon yellow or anything physical or anything that they could point to and say, oh, this is how I know. It's just when they look, they know. Well, roughly the same thing is with at least Henrik's type of doppelganger. Other types of other doppelgangers of his type that look at him know that he is, in fact, a doppelganger. Ooh. Boy, that was assassination level pointed directness there. Wasn't quite English there. Hopefully you understood what I meant. But just as Henrik, once he reached about 80 years of age in doppelganger years, which they live far longer than human beings, he stopped thinking and acting like someone who was just preying on humanity and started liking humanity as a whole and certain individuals in particular, and was increasingly sickened by the fact that he had to predate upon these people. Part of it could well be the fact that, when you pretend to be human for so long, forming your shape-shifted body into a human shape, you live like humans, you start to identify. Oh, go away, Ruben. And so he's gone through his life and has now thoroughly identified as a man. And in fact, I'd mentioned how, well, part of it I'm going to have to preface in another way, because there is something on the Razor's Edge that people can access in the Crimson Kingdom. On the inside, some people had started up a website on their version of their internet, the ThruNet, called the Proctor and Heath, the P&H. And it is a vain attempt to categorize everything about everything, to catalog it all away so that you can, kind of like Wikipedia, except about their world, the inside and the Razor's Edge and the outside and everything in between. And they'd started off on their own, but when the King and Crimson of the Crimson Kingdom found out about it and wanting to make sure that something like this could survive without having to worry constantly about funding and all that, the king funded it entirely while demanding that he and the kingdom have absolutely zero say in any of the editorial or content, anything like that. They had to be completely hands-off. And so one of the entries is on doppelgangers and how they are monsters. And they are monsters that wear the mask of a human being to hide behind. But as Issa finally got through to Henrik that no, that is not true. That you can chip away at the monster until you leave nothing but the man that was hidden underneath. And in Henrik's case, that is absolutely 100% true. He knows he is not a human being. He was a doppelganger, born doppelganger. But while he is a doppelganger, he is also a man. And damn proud to be just a man. But part of being able to be seen as doppelgangers by other doppelgangers, I've been working on one individual who, after all these years, has started feeling the same as Henrik and is jealous, not in a bad way, but in a, can you teach me how to share this? Jealous of his life, how he can live amongst the human beings and be accepted by them. And can Henrik teach him too? Because he has come to really like these people that he has had to prey upon. And Henrik, being glad to teach him, just shows him that the best way to do it is to be a part of the community that you are trying to integrate. Talk to individuals, speak to them, ask them questions, remember the answers, and helps to integrate new doppelgangers into normal human society so that they're not monsters. Because once they reach that point, yeah, they're not. They've been chipping away at the mask of monster and revealing the person that they have become underneath. And yeah, so that's the sort of thing that I think about and work on. Now, most of this stuff that I've been talking about, I am just dealing with to try and remember. The vast bulk of my creative work I did when I was on Ritalin. I was able to think. And the stuff that I had been trying to work on before, you know, with Midland success, once I was on Ritalin, it just started flowing. And the vast bulk of everything that I talk about was done while I was on Ritalin. But Ritalin raised my blood pressure up so far. I'm lucky I didn't have a stroke. It was 200 over 100 when I realized just how bad things were getting. And since then, with all the medications and my body's reactions to them, I've gone from being able to think when I was on Ritalin, being like the shining golden city up on a hill. I had to pull back and try some other medications that made it so I was living in a tin shack halfway down the mountain from the golden city on the hill, but I could still see the glow of the city up in the clouds at the top of the hill. I could remember what it was like to think, but I couldn't think anymore. But then with the medications and the way that my body was reacting to those, I had to stop taking even that kind. And at that point, it was like I had moved into a landfill at the bottom of the hill. We're looking up at the tin shack that I was living in prior. The tin shack seemed like a golden city. And I couldn't even remember what it was like to live in the golden city anymore. And that's what it's like trying to think now. It is difficult, very hard, not impossible. All the solo RPG stuff that I have come up with since living here. So it's not impossible. I can do it. It's just so much harder, and the output is so much less. But I can keep trying to talk about the various things and situations and characters. Like I started off with the cosmic horrors, and then they built from there. So tomorrow, hopefully, I'll be talking about the cosmic horrors, because I never want to forget them either. But hopefully you've enjoyed what I've been what little I've talked about today with Henrik some more. And because I like these characters, I like the situations, and I think they're all fascinating. Primarily still developed because of narrative therapy and trying to deal with issues that hurt and figure out ways to work with them so that they won't hurt as much. Well, that was fun. Game crashed. No idea what it didn't record. So, if you could like, comment, share, and subscribe, that'd be very cool. Greatly appreciated. Each and every one of my Patreon patrons who are beautiful and awesome people. Thumbs up and thank you so very, very much. This aging mammal appreciates your help no end. In a world, and especially a country, where aging mammals are not appreciated, your help is very, very appreciated. Thumbs up. Thank you. You are beautiful and awesome. Everybody that leaves me a comment, you too are beautiful and awesome in your own way. I read every comment that YouTube shows me. I thumbs up every comment that YouTube, oh my God, that YouTube lets me. And I answer as many as my nerve compression will let me, which is, well, sometimes a lot and sometimes I don't know, because this thing going on with my finger seems to also be partially like nerve related, so I don't know. And I do like to play an internet game where I call out either a writer's prompt or a secret word and ask them to be written into the YouTube comments for blatant engagement farming. And it is nice to be heard. which is one of the reasons I like to answer comments as best I can, because I like to engage, and I think it's good to let you know that you've been heard. But the last people that played, and I'm going to have to... and the last people that played were Dre Day Mandingo. I'm having no luck at not getting murdered. Thank you very, very much. Greatly appreciated. Hen. Always good to see you in the comments. Definitely a thumbs up. Jesse Koskinen. Always good to see you as well. And I do hope to play more horror. My big thing about horror games is I like horror that gives you the creepy vibe. The kind of horror like Alien Isolation. Alien Isolation is awesome, but you've got to run away and keep quiet. The horror games that are like that are ridiculous. You spend 90% of your time running and hiding, and because the monster is right on your tail and stays right next to you, and they're hard to juke around, and they can be in the room, and then you're getting them stuck on tables while you get away from them, and those kind just creepy kinds, like the Psalms one, that's good stuff. And Big Frogums, thumbs up and thank you. Always good to see you in the comments. Hopefully you enjoy what very little I had to come up with today. It's just been such a slow time. Toilet Decimator, always good to see you in the comments as well. Gus Garrett 6838, thumbs up and thank you. And Chris, thumbs up, thank you, good to see you. Well, son of a gun, it is a stated holiday, so not a whole lot that I'm expected to get done today, you know, and not a lot I am going to get done today. Hopefully play video games, hopefully play analog games, maybe even some of the board games that I have. If I can break through my executive dysfunction and actually do something, that would be a very good thing. There are times I wish I had a different brain, but if I did, I wouldn't be me. Hopefully, you are going to be able to get done the things that you would like to get done today, but if not, please do not beat yourself up, because you deserve better. So, until we meet again, that car had my name on it. Until we meet again, you take care. Have a great day today. I will see you on the flip side, and that is indeed a very, very good thing.